What's up, world? Welcome to the very first Mike Needler's Experience video. It's my goal on this channel to create inspiring videos around the topics of self-development and meditation, philosophy, as well as more esoteric topics like mysticism. We'll get into some fantasy stuff. Basically, I just want to make content that's entertaining and inspirational.
Is that inspirational music? What is that? Inspirational? Alright, that's cool, I guess.
Because if I can inspire you, you can go inspire somebody else, and we'll make the world a better place. And that is cheesy, but it might stay in there. Okay, so I made this topic 5 ways on how to bounce back from rock bottom because I recently hit rock bottom and I felt like I had no direction, no control over my life, and I kind of just hadn't really cared about anything in quite a while. And it's almost like I didn't even realize that I felt so crappy until I really took a look at it. But anyway, so in doing so, I was reminded of the last time that I hit rock bottom and how I got out of it. So I figured I would share that, and if any of you guys can relate to any of this stuff or apply it, that's awesome. So the first step, if you want to bounce back from rock bottom, is to accept responsibility. Accept responsibility for where you are completely. So in my case, I got out of college and I ended up working a couple jobs before finally ending up at a crappy warehouse job. And I was barely making enough money to get by, barely able to eat and pay rent, and all I really wanted to do was party. I ran with a really smart crew in college who used to work hard and then party really hard. And I really liked to party. My name's Mike and I like to party.
My name is Rod and I like to party.
I saw finally that it was my choices that led me there, but that I had the power and I alone had the power to get out of it. And it was especially sad because I could look around and see my coworkers who were in their 30s and 40s and 50s, and they were also going out and partying and smoking cigarettes, and you could tell that their health was kind of deteriorating and their monetary situation wasn't the best, and I didn't want that to be me. But I saw that I was certainly on that path, and I knew I needed to change. Negative emotions can be a call to action. I read that recently on it was actually a collection of quotes by another guy I look up to. But yeah, so I've been keeping that in my back pocket. Negative emotions are a call to action. I like it. So the second step is, after you've accepted responsibility for where you are, you have to forgive yourself. You can't dwell on the past. You have to forgive yourself and just realize that you were doing the best that you could, but that now it's time to change, and that's okay. Life is about change, and change is good. Especially change when it's on our terms. Everything happens for a reason. So the third step to taking back your life after hitting rock bottom is to envision what it is that you really want. This is kind of like your signpost for your decision making. If you had Aladdin's lamp and you could rub it, what would you wish for?
Why? 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Hang on a second. Wow! Wow!
Yeah. So for me, when I hit this point, I realized that my heart was telling me that I wanted to play guitar for a living. And I knew that people make money playing guitar. And that was a thought that persisted in my head. people make money playing guitar. Why can't I? And at the time, I wasn't good enough at guitar, but I knew that I could be. It was just a matter of consistency over time. And so I started putting in the hours, and I was working second shift, so it was 3:30 p.m. to midnight. And so I would wake up and play guitar for about 3 hours before I went into work every day. And I would go to work, and the best part about the warehouse job, and probably the reason I kept it as long as I did, was the fact that we could listen to our own music while we were working. And so for me, I got to study music the whole time that I was there. Then when I got home from work, like 12:30 in the morning, I would go run in my neighborhood and do push-ups. And that's actually the fourth tip, sneak peek. And then I would end the night playing another 2 to 3 hours of guitar. So I was getting 5 to 6 hours of guitar a day, plus 8 hours of studying music, and maybe an hour of exercise. And that became my life and my grind. But it never felt like a grind, because I was in alignment with my purpose, and I knew what I was trying to accomplish. And I knew that I could. Believing in yourself is incredibly important. The fourth step is to exercise. Exercising, I think, is one of the most underrated tools for change and for transformation. And it's not just about trying to make your body look sexier. I mean, you'll maybe gain some muscle, but it's way more about how you feel and how chemical balances inside your body start to work more in your benefit. Our bodies are so subject to how our chemicals are balanced, and the smallest thing in there can really mess us up. I feel like my body is a microchip.
What's with the mask?
Flu prevention. My body is finely tuned like a microchip, and the flu is like a grain of sand. It could literally shut down the entire system.
So if you're like me, going from no exercise for a long time to trying to start exercising, it's kind of daunting, and maybe you'll feel good about it for a day or two and then start to feel sore, and then you kind of lose momentum. I went through that cycle a few times. But the trick for me was finding an activity that felt like play and not work. It wasn't working out, it was playing basketball. And it's basically like a way to trick your body into exercising while also having fun. So if you can find an activity that you don't see as work, that's the ticket. So the fifth step is to take action. Nothing is going to change without you taking action. And that's the hardest thing. Like, it's so much easier to watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to bounce back from rock bottom, or how to improve your mood in 15 minutes or whatever. But the key always comes down to taking action. And I guarantee,
no doubt in my mind.
You want to guarantee it?
Guaranteed.
Jamal Murray.
Okay, let me do it again. Guaranteed. Double guaranteed.
Double.
Give me another one.
I guarantee that if you start taking consistent action over time, you'll see results. That was something that going to the gym really solidified for me, was that there's no hidden X factor. If you show up and you put in the work, you will see the results. And it's true in any lane. You just have to put in the time. There's a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's one of the most impactful books I've ever read in my entire life. And I'll definitely do a book review on it in a later video. But basically, it teaches that your philosophy determines your actions determine your habits, and your habits determine your results. And so if you can get your philosophy right, your philosophy will lead you to take the right actions. Those actions turn into habits, and those habits lead you to where you want to go. But the biggest thing you got to do is show up every day. You have to commit, and you have to put in the time. But you can dramatically change your life. For me, I stayed on that guitar exercise grind for a year and a half, and I really grew, and I finally got to the point where there was an opening for a music theater position to play guitar in the pit orchestra. And I sent some really grainy, terrible videos as my audition using like a 2014 cell phone, flip phone kind of thing. And somehow that worked, and I got a phone interview, and it went from there. And thankfully the music director gave me a chance, and I worked my tail off. And then from there I got an audition for a cruise ship agency, and I failed. I thought after all that work that I put in that I was going to be good enough, but they said I wasn't quite there. So I was down for a day maybe, but then I just got that much more determined. And a few weeks later I auditioned to a different agency and I got accepted, and that totally changed my life. All because I dreamed it, I built the philosophy, and I showed up. And that's really what it takes. And those are the 5 steps. Please let me know how you've picked yourself up when you hit low points in your life, and if you think there are different tips that I should have put in here. And if you're interested in any of this stuff, please subscribe, like, share. Anything helps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thanks.